Hello. Hello there. Welcome back. Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing, well, we're going to be doing a video on a review of Cyberpunk 2077 on the standard 2015 model PlayStation 4. And I've never done a review video before. It's the very first time I've ever done such a genre. And the reason why I'm doing a review video is I'm confused. That's why. And I suppose when you do a review video, you're not confused because you've come to a decision. I'm confused because I don't know what I've purchased, and I don't know if I'm alone here in this confusion. And I understand that there's been a lot of controversy around the bugs and the glitches and whatnot, and I've experienced those myself, and I'm just on the screen for a reason, and you can see the flickering here of these bars. Now these are just bars, they're not even anything of any complication. It's not even a struggle to do these bars. I mean, I bet anyone who does basic programming and basic IT engineering knows that doing a set of bars like that is kind of easy. I mean, you can't get more straightforward than bars, right? I mean, bars and buildings are kind of straight. You know, that there's plenty of structures and schematics and codes and everything for buildings and bars and props, that they've been around for existence since the early 90s. In concept, and became evident in Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1. That's when things started to become real in game worlds, wasn't it? Anyway, Cyberpunk 2077 on the PlayStation 4. Now, I don't know what it's like on the next current big time generation consoles. I've not seen what it's like. I can imagine that you won't get this flicker, and I've noticed as well there's like around characters and buildings there's like this fuzz, like a grain that's like a you know, like when you open a bottle of pop and all that fizz comes to the surface, like comes to the top, does it rises to the top, and it has like the fizz. That's kind of like it's like it's the drink, only it's in another state, isn't it? It's in a more aggressive state. So this seems to be what's happening here with the graphics. It's in an aggressive state, and when I say aggressive state, it's as if the graphics are all fighting each other. I mean, even the static errors on these machines, they're a deliberate look, really cheap, really thrown together. I mean, there are street signs and shop signs to shops that don't even relate to one another. Like, there's advertisements and arrows saying go in, and there's no door, there's nowhere to access. There are times when NPCs are supposed to be like playing with a toy or something, like a remote control car with a they've got like a remote control in their hands and they're messing, and then there's no toy there. It's like two people in the middle of the street just playing with a remote control, going wild over something that isn't even there. Now, to give it like a positive, I'm trying to think of a positive to give it, right, and the only positive I can think that I can give it is the idea. And the idea of this game is it's state of the art, the idea. I mean, from the kind of like the energy that I've received from it in my imagination is a little bit of Total Recall, right? When he's on Mars, I've got like that feeling when I go inside clubs and inside shops. Like I get this real Total Recall feeling when he's on Mars, like with the giant fans and everything, because there was loads of like big fans in Total Recall, and there was a lot of like stores with neon lights, and it does have that relation to Total Recall, and I do like that about it. I think there's a few skills in there that reference Total Recall. I think it's named Total Recall. Anyway, I like the idea of Blade Runner. Right now, the idea of Blade Runner being integrated into the concept of it with the flying cars and this destruction make-believe utopia, like it's a better place, like that manipulation of it, trying to convince the people it's a better place than what the world has ever been. I think that's really good. I haven't encountered any deviants like in Blade Runner where them runaway androids. I'm not trying to say it's like that, but it's just that other feeling I get, that milk of it. It's a lot like Blade Runner here with the flying cars. Now, the way it plays, from what I can tell, it plays a lot like, is it the Outer Worlds? And when I say the Outer Worlds, it's stuff like this. Like this inhaler stuff, like what's all that about? Yeah, and there's no animations when you're drinking. Like it's only when it's like the quests or the story. You'll have a drink like out the glass, and even the drink doesn't look right. Like the liquid doesn't look right in the drink. It looks very speckled and freckly. Like it's difficult to explain. Like frizzly. You can't sit down on any chairs around the street. Like you can run and people pop in and pop out, and look, these stairs. There is no detail on these stairs. It's as if we've all paid full price for an alpha. If that. If it is an alpha. Right, I'm gonna be honest with you. Right, I'm gonna be very, very honest. And I hope I'm wrong. Right, I really do hope that I am very, very wrong when I say this. They've not spent 7 years making this game. CD Projekt Red. That's not 7 years in the making. Right, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's either the graphics have been deliberately removed from here, right? Either them textures have been deliberately removed, or they only made this 6 months ago. Either this part of the city wasn't made 6 months ago, if this was freshly made 6 months ago, or they've removed quality from it, or it's just had no effort at all put in there. Like from these stairs here, this is just one part of the city, by the way. I've not even gone anywhere else, guys. I've not even walked anywhere else to show you. And I suppose the quality on the recording might be deducted, but I'm sure you can see this flickering, low quality resolution textures. Low. Oh man, like I don't even mind that I paid the money for it. Like I love the company CD Projekt Red. I really do. It's not about that. Like, I understand we all need to make a living. Oh, you know, and I mean, even the map. Let's go on the map. This has just been made. Right, this here looks to me, someone's just made this map about maybe in March, April. They didn't make this map 6 years ago. They didn't make this map 4 years ago. They didn't make this map a year ago. Like, they made this map 4 months ago, if that. This has just been, I mean, you can tell this has just been made, thrown in there at the last minute. You can tell by the flickering, the low resolutions. It's like, even Kingdom Come Deliverance's map, have you seen that map? With the old medieval paintings on the walls, the hinges on the doors. Like, that taken them 4 years to make? 3? Warhorse Studios spent 3 to 4 years making that. These have took 7 years to make this map. Are you kidding me? This is 7 years. I could draw a better map in like 7 weeks, if that. If I really focused on drawing this by hand with a pencil and pen, I could do a better map than this. I'd do detail on the buildings and everything. I mean, you give me a pen and paper with coloured pencils or something, put me in a studio there, I would have drawn this map for them. If they'd have paid me to do it, I would have done it myself. I would have paid. I would have drawn this map myself in their studios. And I would have sat with the guy on the computer, like, day by day, going through the map with him. Like, I would have. Until it got right. Anyway, that's the map. I mean, there's no point going in any of the screens, because we all know what's on the other screens. Pointless stuff. Like, even with the your attributes. Even with the attributes, isn't it? I mean, look at this layout. This has just been done. So, yeah, the sound is terrible. The audio doesn't sync up right. The missions are terrible. The story is okay at best. Like, okay. Look. Oh man, like floating boxes. Just like, let's go into the settings, right? Okay, so this menu took 7 years. So we're gonna go to... Alright, so this is what they gave us to cover up, like... It's kind of like if you have toilet roll and you, like, go to the toilet and you wipe after you go to the toilet. But then you realise that after you've wiped, right, after you've gone to the toilet after a dump, you realise that there's still more there, there's excess dump that has to be wiped. You know? So what you do is you kind of like take that toilet roll and you kind of like fold it in half because you've run out of toilet roll, right? There's no more toilet roll there, there's only one sheet left. And you've got to utilise that one sheet of toilet roll. So you kind of like wipe and it completely obliterates that side of the toilet roll. So then you've got to fold it. So then you've got like this man-made half a version of a usable toilet roll. that you use again, but then after you've done that, there's still more. But then you've got no more toilet roll. You know, so kind of like, what do people do? They just kind of like get on with their lives. You know, but you got to understand that there's still shit there that has to be wiped away. And it's not going anywhere unless you wipe it away and there's no more toilet roll. The value of this game, to me, is £19.99. And that's being kind. I appreciate the map that I got in the booklet. I appreciate a manual with all the lore, the basics of the lore. I appreciate the little novelty card that you get with it and the postcards. I appreciate that. It's nice to have that sentimental finish with a boxed product. I can't knock that, but that does not override this pre-alpha finish. It just feels like what happens here when you walks into you. So they have like a strange walk, don't they? They all have like the same walk. He's like glitching in there, isn't he? He's kind of like, alright. So yeah, after these stairs again. Oh no. Yeah guys, it's worth £19.99 and it's a pre-alpha. It's not been in the making for 7 years. If it has been in the making for 7 years, then it's been very flexible hours. I think they've spent 5 years on the story, thinking about it, talking about it. Definitely 5 years talking about it and thinking about it. But they've only spent a year or 14 months making it. This is not a 7-year project. Definitely not. They have definitely removed, oh, they've definitely struggled here. This is unacceptable. CD Projekt Red, it's unacceptable. If Rockstar made this game, CD Projekt Red, if Rockstar made this game, it would not look like this after 7 years. It wouldn't. You have got to give your heads a massive shake, CD Projekt Red. You are in the shadows of Rockstar games. You have lost the faith and the trust of gamers and players out there. People that believed in you and trusted you. It is now gone. You got to understand, CD Projekt Red, that I mean, I wrote to you 4 or 5 weeks ago directly, and I said that I believe that you should only release this game if it was of diamond standard, even if that means another year. I said delay. You gotta take time. But the thing is, right guys, is what you gotta understand out there, people, is that these gaming development companies had a deadline, and if they didn't release this tripe before the date that was said, none of them would have been paid, and they would have all been dissolved into probably somewhere else. So it's No Man's Sky, the sequel. It's even got the same textures and finish as No Man's Sky. The only difference is you're not in a spaceship and you don't land on planets. Instead, you're in a car, or you're in like some avatar. Like, look at this, like, oh my god. Like, the only reason I'm a female avatar is because the male avatars don't work. it keeps crashing. When I'm a male avatar on the mission where you just turn into Keanu Reeves, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but there's a mission where you do the kind of like the prologue of the game, and you become Johnny Silverhand, Keanu Reeves, like a memory of him or something. There's like a memory, and you end up doing a mission where you're on like a turret, and literally it wouldn't proceed past that point. It was just, the helicopter was just looping in a circle. I left it running for an hour. It was looping for an hour with the machine guns, the turret guns still shooting. It was ridiculous. So I thought, you know what, I tried a new save with a new male character, and that still did the same glitch at the same point, but then I was a female, chose the female avatar, and it worked. For some reason it worked. So now I had to, whenever I sneak through the heist mission without getting spotted, the game crashes, but when you go through the guns blazing, it works. So I had to be a character I didn't want to be. I had to be a character build that I had no interest in, which was aggressive, which I had no interest in. So now I'm a female avatar, which I didn't want to be, I have to follow the aggressive route with guns and everything, because that's the only way it will progress. I think, like, there's supposed to be different outcomes the way you do missions, but when you do it, there is no difference. It doesn't matter whether you do it stealthily or whether you do it all guns blazing, there is no different outcome. Like, they actually warn you in the heist mission not to kill anyone. They say, listen, we don't want you killing anyone, no bodies. So it's like, okay, then what? So you're supposed to go through all the entire mission with stealth, but even if you go through the guns blazing, there's no difference. Even if you leave a pile of bodies, there's no difference. The game doesn't tell you whether you killed everyone. Like, I must have killed about 60 guys. There was actually a big armoured mech. At the end, there's a big armoured mech that you can take down in turrets of a short circuit skill. Literally, it's like a big mech. About the size of Ed 209 from Robocop. A little bit bigger. And that was the only difference when you go in there guns blazing. That was the only difference I noticed. There was no story difference in the outcome. But you can see the grain on the floor. Well, I can see it on my screen, and you can see where the NPCs manipulate that grain, which means that it's the same as what No Man's Sky used. When it first came out, it's the same finish. Anyway, guys, it gets 2 out of 10 for me. I know this is like a basic review. I didn't go through all the other little... I mean, I know there are plenty of reviewers out there with better kit than me and more knowledge. I'm probably highly likely a lot more qualified. But I'm just giving you my take on it. And that's my thoughts. This has only been made for 6 months to a year. They've not spent 7 years making this. And I hope CD Projekt Red hear my video and understand that this is absolutely unacceptable. It is atrocious, and I don't know how it is for PC and next gen. I hope it's really nice. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if the graphics are very spectacular, but we all know deep down that this game could have been exactly like that on the PlayStation 4. And we need answers. We want answers. We deserve answers why it's like this. And we want a breakdown from CD Projekt Red. We want a breakdown. We want an episode from them online where they break down the comparisons and what they had to do to make it like this. I want to see the making of Cyberpunk 2077 way back in the day when it was announced, and I want to see like chapters of the making of it, going through the development of it through time. I'd like to see that, because literally it doesn't exist, because they've only been making this for 2 years. That's my opinion. That's my absolute thoughts, because it doesn't look like 7 years to me. and I know you agree with me. Anyway, guys, that is my video on a highly disappointing finish for what I thought was gonna put games to shame, other games to shame, and it didn't. All it did was put their own company's name to shame. Alright guys, Merry Christmas, goodbye and God bless. Bye.